Hello my dear friend, how are you? Welcome back for listen real and interesting stories, so let me start. This story is of friends. So title is on Reddit is, My friends with benefit said I love you during sex. I 19-year-old girl have been hooking up with one of my close friends, a 19-year-old guy, for about 2 months now. We've been friends since we were 12, so saying things like I love you isn't strange for us. It's something we've done countless times before. But this time it was different. This was the first time it happened during sex, and I'm not sure what it means or how to process it. Last night we were having sex in the missionary position. It had been such a sweet and intimate night overall, lots of kissing, cuddling and foreplay. Everything was very gentle, tender and thoughtful. You get the idea? It was a really connected experience. When he was getting close to finishing, he said, I love you. His head was buried in my neck, but I could still hear him clearly. I wasn't uncomfortable at all, just to be clear. In fact, I thought it was really sweet and tender, so I said it back to him. Then he moved his head so that he could look at me, smiled and kissed me. Afterward he finished, but I had already reached my own climax before he did. While we were cuddling afterward, he seemed a little unsure, almost embarrassed, and brought up what happened. He apologized, saying it just slipped out in the heat of the moment, and that he didn't mean to make things awkward. But I assured him that there was no reason to apologize, and that I thought it was really sweet. I tried to reassure him because I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. If anything, it felt special and meaningful in that moment. But now I'm left wondering if saying I love you during sex changes things between us. Does it mean something more? Does it signify a shift in our relationship? We've been friends for a long time, and even though we've been hooking up casually for a couple of months, I don't want to rush anything or make things complicated if he's not feeling the same way. I feel like I don't want to make things awkward, but at the same time, I'm not sure how to process what happened. Should I bring it up again or let it be? What does it mean when the words I love you are said in that context? It's been on my mind since last night, and I'm not entirely sure how to navigate this new dynamic we've found ourselves in. Now, I can't stop replaying that moment in my head, especially his reaction when I said I love you back to him. I keep wondering if there's more to it than just a casual exchange between friends. He looked genuinely in awe, like he didn't expect me to say it back, which honestly doesn't make sense to me. We've said I love you to each other before many times, and it's always been in a casual, non-romantic context, just as friends. So why would he be so surprised that I said it back during such an intimate moment? And why did he seem embarrassed afterward? I just can't figure out why he'd feel that way unless maybe he meant it differently this time, more than just the I love you say to a friend. It's making me question whether there's something more going on here that neither of us has acknowledged yet. I've been thinking a lot about how I feel, and if I'm being honest with myself, I think I may have caught some feelings for him. I didn't really expect that to happen, but here we are. The more I think about it, the more I wonder if he might feel the same way. If he does, then that's something I would love to know. But at the same time, I don't want to make things awkward between us or put him on the spot if he doesn't feel the same way. I also don't want to embarrass either of us, especially if I misread the situation. It's all just a bit confusing because I don't want to overthink it or make assumptions, but I also feel like I might need to get some clarity on it. I don't want to ruin what we have, but at the same time, I don't want to ignore what I'm feeling. So now I'm stuck wondering if I should bring it up and talk to him about it or just let things play out naturally. But then again, it could make things awkward and who knows how he might react. Does this mean he has feelings for me and should I talk to him about it? She posted an update on January 29, 2024. I was honestly not expecting my post to get much attention at all, haha. It kind of blew up more than I anticipated. A lot of people have asked for an update, so I decided to make a separate post for that. I tried posting it to the sub, but I think it got deleted, so I'm just posting it here on my account instead. Before I get into the update though, I wanted to address a few things that people asked about. Before I turn my chats off, because some people can be pretty strange, not gonna lie, I got a couple of DMs asking how we even got together in the first place, and I wasn't sure if other people were curious about that too, so I'll explain a bit. We both grew up in really conservative and sex-negative households, which made sex a pretty awkward topic for both of us for a long time. Honestly, the only sex education we got was pretty much just don't do it with no real explanation or understanding of anything else. So, naturally, that made both of us pretty clueless about relationships and intimacy. We met through a homeschool group, which is how we initially became friends. We've known each other for years and in a way we've always been close, but it wasn't until a few months ago that things took a turn. We were talking one day and we just decided to be open with each other about how we felt and the fact that we were both still virgins at that point. After some honest conversation and a lot of thinking, we decided to give our virginities to each other. We didn't really have much of a plan or expectation about where things would go from there, but it just kind of naturally turned into a friends with benefits situation. So far, it's been just the two of us in terms of sexual experience, and we've only ever slept with each other. No one else has been involved, and we've kept it pretty exclusive in that sense. I know some people might think that sounds a bit unconventional, but for us, it just felt right. We were both kind of on the same page about not really wanting to rush into anything too serious, but also finding comfort in being with each other because we trust each other. It's still all a bit new and strange to us, but it's been a learning experience for sure. I didn't expect to get this much attention or to have people so curious about the details, but I guess it's nice to share and get a little perspective from others. I'm definitely still figuring things out as I go, but it's been a journey, and I'm happy with how things are going so far. I also tend to be a very oblivious person when it comes to people having feelings for me. I don't know why, but I just seem to miss all the signs, even when they're as obvious as possible. It's almost like when something is so clear that it's practically screaming at me in big neon letters, I'm still like, I wonder what they mean by that, and I don't even stop to think that maybe it's something more. It's honestly a bit funny at this point, but also kind of frustrating. I know it's not a good thing, and I've been actively trying to be more aware of the signals people give, but sometimes I still totally miss the mark. It's not like I don't notice anything, it's more like I'll brush it off or not realize the significance of it in the moment. I guess I'm just a little clueless sometimes, which I'm definitely working on improving, but yeah, it's something that happens. And looking back on certain situations, I definitely realize I should have picked up on more, but I guess it's just one of those things that I've got to keep learning from. It's kind of embarrassing, but hey, at least I'm aware of it now, right? Still, I'm trying not to get too caught up in it and just take things as they come. Sometimes I'm just oblivious to what's right in front of me, and that's something I guess I need to be more conscious of moving forward. She posted a last update is, okay, now for the part you've been waiting for. I really sat down with myself and took some time to think long and hard about how I was feeling. It wasn't easy, but I came to the conclusion that I do love him. Like, I'm really down bad for him if I'm being honest, haha. I figured it out after a lot of thinking and reflecting, and I realized I care about him a lot more than I initially thought. So, I decided to act on it and texted him to ask if we could meet up and have a proper conversation just like you all suggested. We ended up hanging out at his place doing the usual stuff we always do. We had some food, watched some funny videos on YouTube, and just spent time together casually. But eventually, I decided it was time to bring it up. I asked him if we could talk, and I started by telling him that when I said I love you back last night, I truly meant it, and I've always felt that way. I made sure to be clear about how serious I was because I really wanted to be honest with him. Then I asked him what he meant when he told me he loved me, and I told him that I just wanted us to be open and honest with each other. Because I love him and nothing could change that. I could tell he was a little nervous about it, so I held his hand to try and make him feel more comfortable. It helped a little, but I could still sense the tension. He started talking, and to my surprise, he admitted that he's in love with me. He told me that he actually had a crush on me when we were younger, but he thought it would fade away eventually. And for a while he thought it had. But when we started being more intimate with each other, those feelings resurfaced and he started noticing them again. Last night was really emotional for him, and he said the words just kind of slipped out without him really thinking about it. He also admitted that he was excited when I said it back, but then he started thinking that maybe I didn't mean it in the same way, which is why he reacted the way he did. I could see how nervous he was, and it made me feel for him even more. I reassured him that I absolutely meant it, and that I'm in love with him too. The look on his face when I said that was priceless. There was this huge weight that seemed to lift off of both of us. We were both happy and relieved, and I could tell we were both feeling a lot of emotions in that moment. We talked a little more and then decided to take the next step, agreeing to make things official and exclusive. We kissed, and let's just say we did some other things too. Some tears were definitely shed, and the whole thing was just so emotional and raw. It was a really intense, unforgettable moment for both of us. All in all, it was one of the best and most honest conversations we've ever had, and I'm so glad I finally had the courage to bring it up. It felt like the beginning of something amazing between us, and I'm excited to see where things go from here. So yeah. Happy to report a happy ending here. Thanks y'all. Ending is very happy of this story, both are dating now. Cheers. If you enjoy our videos, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a good day, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it and hit the notification bell icon to stay updated with more shocking real life stories happening around you.